Okay, week 17. This one is going to be so much fun. I'm only going to do one video, and I think there's a way to scale it if you guys think it's too difficult for the little kids. There is a stopping point on this project that would be perfectly fine for them to stop, but we can kind of make that decision and scale anything that we need to. I can't say it the French way, but Bête Morisot. French Impressionist. She was the first woman to join the Impressionists. So she would have been friends with Manet and Monet and Renoir. She grew up in a very wealthy family. She frequently visited the Louvre to copy painting. She's one of the few that does Impressionist for watercolors, and I thought about doing that. But I just think that's a very hard medium for a beginning artist. So yeah, she was very successful. She lived from 1841 to 1895, and the painting that inspired this activity is Roses 1897. So she captured a lot of domestic life for women in France in the 1800s. That was her subject matter, and she did paint a lot of flowers and vases. So I love this project because it kind of goes back to week 13, where we talked about light and shadow using the apple. So Jack was able to follow my instructions and do this, but this is the finished product, and I'll take you through how we did it. I think it's pretty simple, but we'll see what you guys think. So this was Jack's. We're basically just going to be, the grammar would be dry brushing, color mixing, and yeah, this is what we're gonna do. So the materials you're gonna be using are just a piece of construction paper. I feel like we use fancy paper a lot, and I want this to be something that people can recreate at home with things that they have. So we are gonna lay down this, and we are gonna start with oils as always. And so dry brushing, we are gonna use the acrylic paint that they have, but we are not gonna be using, the only thing we're gonna be using the water for is to clean our brush. And then this will be a dry brush technique. So the first thing that we're gonna go through and do is we are gonna get some black, and we are gonna make our vase. So oils, just gonna make a circle. They can do an oval. Something I noticed is, like Jack wanted to push a lot. So this might be a good time for parents to kind of look and make sure they're just getting the tip of their brush filled with paint. And then we went ahead and closed it off. You don't have to, but we kind of did there. And then they're going to continue with circles. They're going to make circles wherever they want. So they could do a circle here, a circle here, circle here, circle here. I might do one more. Just kind of filling in where it's like a little sparse. But I chose tempera. Each student will have a little cup of tempera black paint, just because I think it dries down faster, and the rest will be acrylics. I also think it's a little bit easier to work with. Okay, so once all the circles are done, they're gonna make some leaves. So just 1 or 2 leaves. You can go over the leaf shape. And then I think that is it for the black for now. So then they can go through, clean their brush, and dry their brush. And then next we're gonna go ahead, and while this dries, we're gonna paint our table. So like you noticed in the reference photo, on one side, we're deciding that the light source is coming from the right-hand side. So this is going to be the shadow side. So they're going to need to pick 2 primary colors for the wall and the tabletop on this side. And then they will lighten those primary colors with white for, sorry, left-hand side is dark, right-hand side is lighter. So that's the next step. So we are gonna go in, I'm gonna say I'm gonna have a blue table this time. So I'm gonna go in with my dark blue and I'm gonna cut across and down and then establish that that is gonna be my dark blue. So I'm gonna go ahead, can you see this? Okay. And just load up that acrylic paint and very kind of quickly, because the Impressionist did quick strokes, do the blue side. I don't have to clean my brush because I'm just going to put some more blue and white and mix, give that a mix to come in and do the other side. And again, if they don't want to do this dark and light, the little kids could literally just do blue all the way across. For the big kids, I would like to see them use this technique. And you can decide who is big kids. I'll probably just do this video and then let you guys decide how you want to scale it. So once that is done, I'm going to dry off my brush. And this is still a little gloopy, but I think it's going to be okay. I'm going to pick the colors for my flowers. So I'm going to go in with maybe red. Yeah, it's picking up some of the black, but I think that's okay. Red, maybe I'll do another red one right here. Dry that off. Maybe I'll do a yellow flower here. Maybe I'll do one here. And then maybe I'll use some of that light blue that I did for this. And I have paint palettes just because I don't have the paint pots they have, but for all their mixing, they'll have this like they do every single week. So after I'm done with my flowers, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna color my leaves. Just do all green. We'll come in and do kind of the shadow and the highlights at the very, very, very end. And then I will go back here in a minute, but I'm going to leave that for now. And I'm going to decide my wall color. Let's say for my wall color, I'm going to go with, I'll go with green. So I'm just going to, again, divide down the center, find my center line, and color everything to the left of the line I created green. For the little kids, they could dry brush the background. They could not fill all this in. They could just do a very rough, you know, kind of like dry brush technique sideways. That would be fine too. It is kind of tough to navigate around these leaves and whatnot. But we did it. And then I keep wanting to dip that in my coffee. And then we are going to just lighten the green with white and come across here and do a light green.
I love you, Mama.
I love you too, babe.
I think the Sunken City in the next one.
Yeah. Okay, so after that, we're gonna let that dry and we're gonna move on to our actual flower pot. I am gonna make this flower pot red. Same thing, divide it down the center. Paint it in. Lighten it up with white to make a pink. Paint the other side. And then I'm gonna go in and kind of attach everything to each other and create some kind of dots in the center. So take the black and come down. And reestablish things. And then I'm gonna put a little black dot in the center of all these flowers. Oops. And then I'm gonna take my skinny brush for kind of like the first time for the detail work, and I am going to cast shadow on all of these flowers. Just blended some black and red. And then I'm going to make our cast shadow on the bottom. Just like we did with the apple. And then I'm gonna go back in and get just the plain white. And this is where I'll do my highlights. Do my reflection. And then a little bit right here. And that's it. This is really fun, and I feel like it kind of ties in what we learned in week 13, like I said, and I think that's it. Let me know if you have any questions.